What's up, guys? It's Ian here, Commissioner of your NCL, bringing you guys the playoff picture episode for Week 9. If you've seen Week 8, then you know the drill. If you haven't, well, 8 teams make playoffs, 4 from each conference, and I'll run through all that as we get in here. So, first up, the division winners automatically make playoffs. So, there are 4 divisions, and those 4 teams automatically make playoffs. Then there are 4 wildcard spots, and the next best records from each conference will take those final 2 playoff spots, meaning it's not the top 2 from each division. It is the 4 best records in theory from each conference. Placing is determined based on number of wins, then differential, then your head-to-head record. If there's still a tie, then a tiebreaker match will occur. So this can occur in places where there's a tie and the teams don't play each other during the season, so there would be no head-to-head record to go off of. Then there's a tiebreaker match that happens, and in that case, it's not the end of the world because those teams wouldn't match up until finals, I believe, actually, anyways. So it's not a huge deal to play a tiebreaker match right before playoffs start. So playoffs as it stands, now that we're in week 9, the LA Latios have clinched a playoff spot. The Atlanta Raptors, Snow Point City Blizzard, and West Virginia Voltorb have all been officially eliminated from the playoff picture. They have no shot at a playoff spot whatsoever. That is 2 teams from the Black Conference and 1 from the White Conference. So, in the Black Conference, all 4 playoff spots are still up for grabs between 6 teams, and in the White Conference, there are 3 playoff spots up for grabs between 6 teams. Sorry. So it's the same number of teams fighting for playoff spots, but there are less spots in the White Conference, and it's a lot closer than the Black Conference is at the moment. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. Both conferences are pretty close. But as we go through, you'll see that it's not going to be super close necessarily these next weeks. So let's just run through it here then. Z next to the team name means they've clinched the division. No one will have a Z this week. Y means they've clinched a playoff spot, either a wildcard spot or are in line to potentially win the division. So you'll see that on the LA Latios. And then X means they've been mathematically eliminated from playoffs. This is the current standings. So the New Meva division standings did not change at all. The Accumula division, the Tampa Bay Weasels and Adelaide Overheat traded spots because the Tampa Bay Weasels lost this week and the Adelaide Overheat won. And then in the Aspersia division, nothing changed. And in the Floxy division, I believe the Philadelphia Pichus and the Green Bay Goliathpods swapped spots. Uh, Pretty interesting. I mean, if you're not in the server, then you can probably one of our old videos will have the permanent invite link, or I can hopefully remember to put the permanent invite link into the description here, and you guys can join the server, spectate, and see the document and stuff like that. Um, Current standings for each of the conferences. This doesn't really matter. It just sort of shows off what's going on for each conference and how playoffs are going to stack up. So obviously, you're looking at the top 4 at the moment. In each conference, that's kind of the cutoff line, and maybe it'd be nice if I had a line by the 4, but that's not technically where it is. Technically, at the moment, excuse me, the UNC Wingles, who have the 3rd best record, are the division leaders in the White Conference right there. The Floxy division leaders right there. So that's sort of a great example of what I'm talking about in terms of. Done. Oh, don't want the screenshot. There we go. That's what I'm talking about in terms of other things happening there. And then it's the same thing goes in the Black Conference. I'm the leader of the New Meva division currently, and I'm in 3rd place as well. So Jed and the Adelaide Overheat doing very well this season. Cannot be eliminated this week. He has 2 different clinching scenarios for playoffs. He can either win his game, that would clinch him for playoffs because he would have a 3-game buffer, a guaranteed 3-game buffer over the Calgary Talon Flames regardless. Or if the Calgary Talon Flames lose, then he also has the 3-game buffer over the Calgary Talon Flames there. So it's looking very promising for Jed to clinch playoffs this week. I believe his opponent is the Snow Point City Blizzard. It is, and the Snow Point City Blizzard have the worst record in the conference, so it should, in theory, be a fairly easy win for Jed to pick up there and clinch playoffs. And if not, he has to hope that James E beats Shade and that he can clinch playoffs that way. That would be pretty big for Jed, and I'm just spending a little bit more time on this slide just because Jed has been in the NCL for all 3 seasons, and he has never made playoffs. This is already his best season. His best performance previously was in season 1 with 7 wins. Now he's at 8 wins, so he can. This is already his best season. Funnily enough, it's my worst season already, and it's just kind of a big accomplishment for Jed. This is the best I've ever seen him play, and so I'm just pretty proud of how he's performed. Next up is the Atlantis Raptors, already eliminated. We can skip this. Calgary Flareons are in the middle of the pack right now in the White Conference, currently sitting in the fourth and final playoff spot in Wildcard 2 slot right now. But with some things going her way, she could absolutely fight for the Floxy Division title right now, and that would be pretty cool. I think for Tiff, that'd be pretty cool for her. So we will keep an eye out on this, and I will get back to you in future weeks about Tiff. Same with Shade, middle of the pack right now. He's right on the edge of being outside of the playoffs. He's one win away from a playoff spot right now, and we'll be looking out for Shade later. But he's far enough away from elimination currently that we don't have to worry about that just yet. Cleveland Cavaliers, yes. Okay, so Dom is the sixth team in the Black Conference, and he's at the bottom before the eliminations start happening. So, unfortunately, Dom's only at 3 wins, and there is one scenario where he's eliminated this week. If he loses his match to who does he play? He plays the Tampa Bay Weasels and Ben. If he loses that match and Shade and the Calgary Talonflames win, there will be a 3-game buffer with only 2 weeks left, which means that he would not be able to make playoffs because he's not even going to be higher than the fifth seed, which puts him outside of the playoff range. Um, in fact, that's not actually the only scenario, and I'm really bad at this somehow when I've been doing this for so long. But if he loses, he's out of playoffs. I shouldn't have had to add that the Calgary Talonflames win. If he loses, he's out, or if both myself and Jamesy win, he's also out. Because that would have the playoff basement at 7 wins, and he would not be able to make that even if he won. Um, yeah, so there are multiple scenarios here that I forgot about. So sorry, Dom. Hopefully you watch this video to actually hear all these because I'm not going to write these out in text format afterwards. James and the Crystal Palkia, middle of the pack, same as me. We're both 6-3 right now, so neither of us can clinch or be eliminated yet. It's going to be a long time before. I'm pretty sure it'll come down to like week 12 before we can actually be eliminated, just because of how close it is right now, especially with this conference and our division in particular is very, very tight. Matt and the Green Bay Glycopods, unfortunately, not having a very good season, just picked up an FF loss today. So please keep that in mind when we're going through this series. 2 FF losses. I put in a new rule this season that 2 FF losses automatically eliminates you from playoffs, just because that means that you haven't been putting in the effort that I require. And unfortunately, Matt took his first. So if he takes one more FF loss in the next 3 weeks, he will automatically be eliminated from playoffs anyways. At the moment, there's a scenario where if he loses and the Helsinki Heat win, again, I'm doing a really poor job of this because it's just if he loses, then he wouldn't be able to catch up to the Calgary Flareons, who are in the last spot. So, if he loses or the Calgary Flareons win, then he's in a bad spot, and both of those are reasonably likely. The Calgary Flareons take on the Philadelphia Peaches this week, so it's looking like Matt may be eliminated mathematically this week. Hum in the Helsinki Heat, no clinching, no elimination scenarios yet. He's right there, 1 win out of the playoff spot right now. Probably won't be able to catch up to. He is guaranteed to not be able to win his division, so he'll only be eligible for a wildcard spot. But we'll sort of see how that plays out. LA Latios have already clinched. They can clinch the Aspertia division if they win or the Pittsburgh Piplups lose. Then Cade would clinch the Aspertia division and would become one of the division winner spots. He can clinch first place in the White Conference with a win, which would guarantee him his pick of the wildcard team that he wants to face in the playoffs. So that'll be pretty interesting to see. If he wins this week, he does take on the Atlantis Raptors, a previously eliminated team. So in theory, he should win and be able to, clinch his spot as a division winner here. Myself, again, same story as Jamesy. I can't clinch or be eliminated. Mortal and the Philadelphia Peaches actually cannot be eliminated yet either. I think, again, my math is really bad because he actually can. This is horrible. Why am I doing this like this when I'm completely wrong? I did the same thing last week. I need to look more into doing this before I just sort of like blow my mouth. But Mortal can be eliminated. Actually, he can if both the UNC Wingles and Calgary Flareons win and he loses. Given his game is against the Calgary Flareons, as long as the UNC Wingles win and he loses, he would be eliminated from the playoff spot because then the playoff basement would be 6 wins and he can't hit 6 wins with 2 more weeks to go. So my apologies, Mortal. Again, really hope that you watch this video. Now that I'm thinking about it, I will write out these scenarios because I messed up on 3 different people already. Yeah, my apologies. Again, my apologies. Hayden and the Pittsburgh Piplups cannot clinch or be eliminated from playoff spot this week. Again, I'm wrong because if he wins and Hamu loses, he can clinch. So I'm very dumb. What is it with me today? Like, actually, what is it with me today? Very odd. He can't be eliminated at the very least. Magic and Snowflake and Saber Lizard are already eliminated. Ben and the Tampa Bay Weasels, if they win, they clinch? Yes. If Ben wins and the Calgary Talonflames lose, he will have a 3-game buffer over Shade and will clinch playoff spot with that. Um, if he wins and Shade wins, then there's still a shot of Shade taking his spot, and the playoff basement is at 6 wins right now, anyways. So that I'm definitely accurate on that one. UNC Wingles cannot clinch a playoff spot because they're at 5 wins and the playoff basement is 5 wins, so that's fine. And then West Virginia Vault Harbor have already been eliminated. I'm very sorry about this. The production quality just keeps going down, like I said in the weekly recap. So I will try to do my best to fix that for the next weeks and get some people to double check my math. And that'll be it for me, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys for the next one.